Welcome to another episode of Acroyoga with Super Dave. My name is David and my flyer is Sandra. Today we are in part 4 of our Catherine's Wheel series. We are going to be popping Catherine's Wheel as well as reverse Catherine's Wheel. Start with our progressions. We'll start off with our bird pops into shoulder spin. And then the flyer is going to hold momentarily and then land to the ground. So I want to provide a nice light pop just to get her into position. I'm going to pop through my toe mounts, so really extending through the legs. 1, 2, 3. Really press to my fingertips to absorb her and bring her back into a static position. And when she's ready to come out, just going to land her feet, lower her hips to the ground. Okay, we're showing you that particular progression so that flyers can feel comfortable if the base over pops to land safely onto the floor.
For the purposes of this move, I'm going to place my hands on the front of his wrist and wait for him to pop me. I'm going to keep my elbows in nice and close. And I'm just going to hold my position here. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to bend my knees and just fall to the floor, land my hips down.
Okay, once you get comfortable with that progression, we're going to pop from our front bird into candlestick and then drop back into our reverse bird. Reverse back bird. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bring my feet back. So I like to make contact with the outer edges of my feet and then bring my feet together. Now land our feet down to the ground.
When I come up, I'm going to try to pause for a moment just so that the base has time to place their feet. And then I'm just going to relax into my back bird.
Okay, next we're going to pop from our reverse back bird into front bird. So I'm going to grab a hold of the feet. You can take your C grip or maybe an index or a peace finger on the front of the feet. Depends on what you're comfortable with. 1, 2, 3. And then press. And then bring my feet onto her hips. I like, once again, making contact with the outer edges of my feet and then bringing my feet into position for our bird position.
I'm just going to bend my knees slightly, and I'm going to think about standing straight up and then sending my hips a bit forward.
1, 2, 3. And notice I get my feet, her feet nice and wide as well. So I'm using my hands to pull her feet wide.
I swing my legs back, keep my chest lifted.
Come all the way down. Okay, so when you get comfortable with the timing of the pops and the pop itself, then I feel like this becomes an easier washing machine than our original Catherine's Wheel. It's a little bit more dynamic as well. For the next progression, we're going to show you how to do reverse candlesticks with pops. Very much the same progressions, except in the opposite direction. So we're going to start in back bird. I'm aiming just to pop her into her reverse candlestick or reverse shoulder stand. 1, 2, 3. And then she lands to the ground. Okay, so for this case, if you don't get enough pop, make sure your legs are behind the flyer just for additional support. So if the flyer comes back down, then you can reset and do the pop again.
And lean back into my back bird. Grab just below the wrist, elbows in, and I'm going to catch my shoulder stand once he pops me. I'm going to hold here, and then when I'm ready to come down, I'm going to try to keep my body a little bit flat and then hinge at the hips at the last moment.
Okay, so I mentioned that you can have the legs up to support if you don't pop enough. If you pop too much, you can use your fingertips to stabilize the forward momentum. Now we're going to practice popping from our reverse bird our back bird into our reverse bird. One, two, three. And then I scoop up with my legs. Bring her feet to the ground, and then she stands up. Okay, this is a trickier pop. It's a matter of taking my legs out wide, and then quickly bringing my feet together so that I can land my feet onto her hips. Okay, the more you practice this, the more fluid it'll get, and the less of an impact you'll make on the feet. Right? If it comes too fast, then you have no choice but to just bring your feet close together.
Okay, again, I'm going to try to find my reverse shoulder stand for a moment so that the base has time to place his feet. And then at this point, I have his forearms. I'm going to use them to press myself up, keep my chest lifted.
When I feel like she's sufficiently balanced on my feet, then I'll start to extend my legs up straight. So with that particular pop, I was able to hold her in reverse candlestick a little bit longer, giving my feet time to sweep across, and therefore I was able to absorb the pop a lot more than I did in my original pop. And from there, we're going to practice our reverse bird pop into our back bird. One, two, three. Coming all the way down. So ideally, you want to bring your elbows, as I pop, I'm going to bring my elbows down to the ground into a low foot to hand grip. And then I bring my feet between her legs and then catch her on the lower back. I think in that case, I didn't bring my elbows all the way down, so it wasn't as fluid.
I'm going to put a little bit of pressure into his hands with my feet. I'm going to think about standing straight up and then leaning back slightly. And then leaning all the way back into back bird.
Good, so in that case, I was able to bring my elbows more to the ground. That stabilized the transition and then giving me a little bit more stability to bring my feet through, and it wasn't as shaky. So hopefully you enjoyed those tips and have fun with those popping versions of Catherine's wheel. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, and tune in for part 5 of our Catherine's wheel series next week.